Who's ready for some Miami Heat basketball with Deron Butler on Kendall Sports Network?
Butler, welcoming you to another edition of Heat Zone Live, courtesy of Kendall Sports Network. It's another showdown in the Sunshine State as two familiar Southeast Division rivals get set to take on each other as the Miami Heat come to Orlando to take on Paolo Banchero and the Magic. Speaking of Paolo Banchero, he's back after missing 10 games with a left groin injury and looks to bring some of the rain and the pain against Miami, who had a 10-point loss against the Dallas Mavericks 2 nights ago. But nevertheless, Miami's looking to rebound from that loss and getting back into the win column. So here are my 3 keys for tonight's game. Number 1 is return to utilizing the pace and flow. Miami's offense seemed a little bit off, especially against Dallas 2 nights ago, where Ryan Nembhard looked like he was prime Steve Nash, and Cooper Flagg showing those flashes of offensive brilliance. So Miami Heat needs to get back to dictating and utilizing the pace and flow of the game against Orlando. Number 2, the defense needs to be present. Again, going back to Dallas's game from 2 nights ago, the Heat's defense looked stagnant. In some plays, they looked like they were cohesive. In some plays, they weren't. But Miami needs to figure out how to get back to that consistency on defense while also maintaining the pace and flow of the game. And third and finally, Miami needs to not only get to the rim, but also need to get to the free throw line. The Heat, they're continuing to improve in the defense and offensive rebounding department, but they also need to attack the rim more for the second chance opportunities. They missed quite a few against Dallas, and at the free throw line, I can't really complain that much. But if the Heat continue to get to the free throw line, they'll be just fine. Right now, the players are warming up, and we will have the starting lineups and opening tip-off very soon. And we are back, ready to begin tonight's game. Here's a look at our starting lineups. For the Miami Heat, we have Kel'el Ware, Bam Adebayo, Andrew Wiggins, Davion Mitchell, and the returning Norman Powell. For the Orlando Magic, we have Wendell Carter Jr., Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, Desmond Bane, and Jalen Suggs. Both of these teams, the last time they faced off, it was at Orlando Magic's opening game, where the Heat lost in dramatic fashion. This time around, the Heat looks to get some retribution. Alright, players already getting warmed up. We should get ready for opening tip. And Orlando Magic has won the tip, so here we go for tonight's game. Jalen Suggs bringing it up the court, being guarded by Norman Powell, but that ball will go out of bounds. It will be Orlando ball. Alright. There's a three on the way. And Jalen Suggs knocks down the three to get Orlando on the board. Here comes Davion Mitchell. He gives it to Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins driving through the lane. And he misses the layup. Here comes Jalen Suggs. Ball's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Miami. So it'll be Orlando ball. Alright, here comes the Magic. Alright, Desmond Bane will go to the line for 2 free throws. Both teams in the last 10 games have gone 7-3. Very identical records, but Miami seems to be the better team as of late. Alright, Orlando will have a side out again. Alright, Von Wagner rolls the ball overhead, and that's going to be a backcourt violation on Orlando, so it'll be Heat ball. Alright, Miami will inbound the ball. They give it to Davion Mitchell. Out to Kel'el Ware. Back to Davion Mitchell. Mitchell driving into the lane. And he gets the layup to put Miami on the board. Alright, here comes Mo Wagner. He drives into the lane. Kicks it out to Desmond Bane. Orlando's sharing the ball right now. That's going to be a miss on the Magic. And here comes Davion Mitchell. Out to Norman Powell. And Norman Powell gets a floater, and Miami takes the lead. Alright, here comes Desmond Bane to Paolo Banchero. There's the three, and Paolo Banchero knocks it down. And the Magic go up by 2. Here comes Andrew Wiggins, gives it to Davion Mitchell. Davion Mitchell driving in, and he gets the layup. And we're all tied at 6. Here comes Jalen Suggs. That's a 3 on the way, and Jalen Suggs misses it. Rebound by Kel'el Ware. Right. Bam Adebayo recovers the rebound and gets the put back. And Wendell Carter Jr. is there to get the layup. And both teams are now tied at 8. And here comes Davion Mitchell. Gives it to Norman Powell, to Wiggins. And Andrew Chief Wiggins, 3 for Miami. And here comes, that's another miss for Orlando. Here comes Bam. And that's a turnover for Orlando. Paolo Banchero gets the easy layup. That one's a costly layup. That's going to be a costly turnover for Miami. And Khalil Super Bowl where soars for the alley-oop as Miami goes back up by 3. And Jalen Suggs answers back with a layup. And that Miami leading by 1. And Norman Powell goes coast to coast for that layup. Miami leads by 3. All right, here comes Wendell Carter Jr. Gives it to Desmond Bain. Wendell Carter Jr., he knocks it down. And the Magic are within 1 again. Here comes here comes Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins has the ball. Kicks it out to Khalil Ware. Here comes Bam. And Davion Mitchell comes up with that miss. Here comes Jalen Suggs going coast to coast, but ball's knocked loose. All right, here comes Jalen Suggs. Gives it to Desmond Bain. And Desmond Bain gives Orlando the lead with that layup. All right, here comes Bam. Off to Wiggins for 3. And Wiggins misses it. Here comes Franz Wagner. Wagner being guarded by Bam. And Wagner knocks it down. And the Magic go up by 3. Here comes Norman Powell. Loses the ball. And that's going to be last touched by the Magic, I think. So far, Orlando has been on a roll. And we will have ourselves a timeout. Orlando leads 18-15. And we are back. Score is 18-15 Orlando. Still waiting to see who had possession of the ball, or last touched it, I should say. From the looks of things, it looks like Miami may have touched it, but I'm not sure. Waiting to see who has possession of the ball right now. Looks like it's going to be Orlando ball. So the Magic will bring it up to the floor. Desmond Bane and Paulo Banchero are on the bench right now for Orlando. Okay, right now, score is still 18-15. Yeah, score is still 18-15 Orlando. Miami looking to answer back on offense. Alright, so Miami will have possession of the ball. Norman Powell has it. Gets tangled up, and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. That foul is on Jalen Suggs. Norman Powell was looking to go for a 3, but instead he'll go to the line for 2 free throws. Norman Powell knocks down the first. Alright, Norman Powell makes the second. Okay, so I guess it will be 3 free throws as Pelle Larsson enters the game. And Norman Powell knocks down all 3. Then we have a tied game at 18. Alright, here comes Jalen Suggs. Gives it to Goga Badatse. Here comes Orlando. And Goga Badatse gets the alley-oop as the Magic go up by 2. Here goes Jaime Jaquez. Kicks it out to Davion Mitchell. To Norman Powell. Norman Powell gets his shot blocked, and it will go out of bounds on Orlando. It looks like the Magic will go ahead and challenge. They will challenge that foul. And we will take another timeout. Score is 20-18 Orlando. And we are back. Score is 20-18 Orlando. And after that coach's challenge, it seems like the ball was last touched by Orlando, so it will be Heat ball. Jalen Suggs doesn't think it was a foul. Jalen Suggs didn't think it was a foul at all, but Orlando will lose a timeout after that one. So Miami will have possession of the ball. I'm sorry. It was last touched by Miami, so Orlando will have the ball. Excuse me. Here comes Jalen Suggs. All right, Orlando has the ball. They're passing it around. They find Goga Badazzi again for the easy dunk, and that puts the Magic up by 4. Right, and here comes Miami. They give it to Pelle Larsson. Out to Khalil Ware. Being guarded by Badazzi. He loses the ball, and that will be Magic. Oh. Right, here comes Orlando. Jalen Suggs now has the ball. Gives it to Franz Wagner. Wagner out to Tristan da Silva for 3, and he knocks it down as the Magic go up by 7. All right, and here comes Norman Powell. Gives it to Pelle Larsson. And I believe that will prompt a Miami Heat timeout, as Orlando right now are on a 13-3 run. Coach Eric Spoelstra is not loving what he is seeing from his players right now. So we will take a quick timeout. Score is 25-18 Orlando. And we are back. Score is 25-18 Orlando. The Magic are on a 13-3 run right now. Miami needs to answer in a hurry. Here comes Drew Smith. Loses the ball, and here comes Orlando again. Tristan da Silva has the ball. Kicks it out to Badazzi. Here comes the Magic. That ball's knocked loose, but it will remain with the Magic. Here comes Goga Badazzi. Gives it to Jalen Suggs. Suggs being guarded by Jaime Jaquez. Suggs puts it up. He misses it. Rebound by Drew Smith. Kicks it out to Bam. Gives it to Jaquez. Jaquez being guarded by Franz Wagner. Jaquez with the step back, and he knocks it down. And the Heat are within 5. Here comes Franz Wagner with a spin. And a nice block by Bam. And here come the Heat. Here comes Norman Powell. Kicks it out to Bam. Bam is triple teamed. Has nowhere to go. Kicks it out to Pelle Larsson. Back to Norman Powell. Out to Bam for the corner 3. And Bam Adebayo sinks the corner 3. And the Heat are within 2. Here comes Anthony Black. Looking to catch a body, but instead he will catch a foul and 2 free throws. Anthony Black looking to get some serious hang time and put Jaime Jaquez Jr. on a poster, but to no avail. All right, Anthony Black to the line. He makes the first, and we have a 3-point game. Paolo Banchero and Wendell Carter Jr. are back in the game for Orlando. And Anthony Black makes both free throws, so we now have a 4-point game. Here comes Jaquez. Gives it to Simone Fontecchio for the layup, and the Heat are within 2. Here comes Banchero. Gives it to Anthony Black. Paolo Banchero thinking about the corner 3. Gives it to Anthony Black. Anthony Black has nowhere to go, but instead that's going to be a traveling violation on Orlando, so it'll be Heat ball. At first it looked like Anthony Black was going to get some frequent flyer miles, but instead he took 1 step too many. Here comes Jaime Jaquez. Gives it to Larson. Larson being guarded by Banchero. He gives it to Jaquez. Jaquez missing the basket, but it's rebounded by Wendell Carter Jr. Here comes Tyus Jones. Gives it to Anthony Black. Black being guarded by Drew Smith. Gives it to Desmond Bane. And here comes Orlando. Misses the corner baseline. And here comes Miami. Simone Fontecchio for 3. That's a miss. Here comes Anthony Black. Gives it to Paolo Banchero. To Tyus Jones. Jones for 3. And he sinks it. And the Magic go up by 5. And here comes Drew Smith. Almost lost the ball, but Bam Adebayo's there to get the rebound and the basket. And the Magic still lead by 3 now. All right, here comes Anthony Black with a long 3, and he misses it. Rebound by Drew Smith. All right, Miami bringing it up to the floor. Drew Smith guarded by Tyus Jones. All right, what's Drew Smith looking for? Missing the layup after wasting all that time, and that's going to be a foul on Orlando. Miami catch a break right there. So that would be 2 free throws for Drew Smith. All right, Drew Smith makes the first free throw, and we have ourselves a 2-point game. Drew Smith misses the second free throw. Here comes Desmond Bane to Tyus Jones. Banchero for the long 3. And that will end the first quarter. Paolo Banchero is back, and the Magic are leading 30-28 at the end of the first quarter. I'll be back for more play-by-play in the second quarter. And we are back. Score is 30-28. Orlando. Still a close game, but Miami can come back into this one. Alright, here comes Bam Adebayo. Guarded by Wendell Carter Jr. And Bam knocks down the basket. And we're all tied at 30. Here comes Tyus Jones. Gives it to Desmond Bane. Bane being guarded by Hawkins. Out to Anthony Black. Out to Banchero. Back to Desmond Bane. And Bane loses the ball. And here comes Miami. Out on the fast break. Pelle Larsson. Misses the basket. But that's going to go out on Orlando. Pelle Larsson almost had the opportunity to put Miami up ahead. Kind of need to put more effort in that layup, but all right, here comes Jaime Jaquez. Loses the ball, and that one's going back to Orlando. Miami right now on a 12-5 run. All right, here comes Tyus Jones, being guarded by Drew Smith. Out to Anthony Black. Anthony Black misses it. That was last out on Miami, so it'll be Orlando ball. The foul's on Drew Smith. So that will send Anthony Black to the line. Anthony Black makes the first. And Anthony Black makes both free throws. So we now have a 2-point game. here comes Bam. Gets fouled. And we will have 2 free throws for Bam. That foul's on Wendell Carter Jr. I'm sorry, Miami will have the ball side out. Here comes Pelle Larsson. Out to Hawkins. Back to Bam. Bam misses that basket. And here comes Orlando. Anthony Black. Out to Desmond Bane. Back to Black. Here comes Tristan Da Silva being double teamed. Gives it to Desmond Bane. Tyus Jones kicks it out to Wendell Carter Jr. for the open 3. Misses it. Rebound by Drew Smith. Alright, here comes Drew Smith. Being guarded by Anthony Black. He gives it to Simone Fontecchio. Out to Drew Smith for the corner layup, and he gets it. And we're all tied up at 32. Nice assist from Simone Fontecchio. Miami right now with 22 points in the paint to Orlando's 14 as Desmond Bane misses that layup. Miami right now on a 14-7 run. And here comes Bam. And he gets the basket, but no foul. The Heat right now have the lead. And here comes Anthony Black. He gives it to Wendell Carter Jr. Out to Tyus Jones. Tyus Jones knocks down the basket. And we're all tied up at 34. And here comes the Heat. Hawkins kicks it out to Fontecchio. Bam for 3. He misses it. Rebound by Tristan Da Silva. And here comes Tyus Jones. Kicks it out to Anthony Black. And Anthony Black will go to the line for 2 free throws. Anthony Black makes the first, and Orlando retakes the lead. And Anthony Black makes both free throws. And here comes Drew Smith. Kicks it out to Pelle Larsson for the corner 3. That's a miss. Rebound by Orlando. Here comes Anthony Black. He gives it to Wendell Carter Jr. And Wendell Carter Jr. undeniable with the dunk. And Orlando lead goes up to 4. Here comes Bam. And Bam Adebayo getting the nifty layup as the Heat trail by 2. Bam Adebayo already with 13 points and 4 rebounds. Going 6 for 8 from the field. And a nice rebound by Simone Fontecchio, and that's going to lead to a foul, an off-ball foul on Wendell Carter Jr. Got tangled up with Jaime Jaquez Jr., and he fell to the floor. All right, and here comes Miami now. Drew Smith being guarded by Tyus Jones. Gives it to Pelle Larsson. Larsson out to Wiggins. Out to Bam. And Bam knocks it down. And we're all tied up at 38. Wendell Carter Jr. will take a seat on the bench for Orlando, already with 6 points and 3 fouls. Bam will go to the line for the and 1. And Bam knocks down the and 1, and the Miami Heat lead by 1. Here comes Tyus Jones. Gives it to Anthony Black. And Anthony Black gets a layup over Bam as Orlando retakes the lead. Miami already made 53% of their field goals. And Andrew Chief Wiggins knocks down that 3 to put Miami ahead. Here comes Anthony Black. Gives it to Tristan Da Silva. Da Silva loses the ball, but it gets it back, but tangling with it right now. Kicks it out to Anthony Black. Here comes Anthony Black. Misses that basket. Rebound by Bam, and here comes Drew Smith. Kicks it out to Simone Patecchio. Out to Bam. Bam being guarded by Goga Badatse. Bam misses that basket. Rebound by Anthony Black. And that's a missed 3 from Tyus Jones. And here comes Orlando. Here comes Miami. Fontecchio, long 3. And that one goes out of bounds. And that will prompt an Orlando Magic timeout. Miami has the lead, 42-40. And we'll be back for more Heat action. All right, and we're back. Score is 42-40. Miami has the lead. And here comes Orlando now. Gives it to Jalen Suggs for 3. And he misses it. Rebound by Kel'el Ware. And Miami are on the move now. Miami are on the floor. That's a missed three from Norman Powell, and it will be Orlando ball. All right, and here comes Orlando. And that's going to be a foul that will send Mo Wagner to the line. Sorry, that's Franz Wagner to the line. I'm not sure which Wagner it was. I'm pretty sure it was Mo Wagner. Franz Wagner is the one with the mask, excuse me. So Franz Wagner will go to the line. Wagner misses the first. Misses both free throws. And here comes the Heat. Davion Mitchell has it with the crossover. And he gets the basket over Goga Badatse as the Heat lead by 4. Here goes Jalen Suggs. Tristan Da Silva. Nope, that's going to be an offensive foul and traveling on Orlando, so it will be Heat ball. All right, Franz Wagner so far in this game has 2 points and 2 assists. And here comes Miami, looking to add to their lead. Jaime Jaquez Jr. guarded by Tristan Da Silva, and Jaquez knocks it down, and the Heat go up by 6. Here comes Tristan Da Silva, throws the ball away, and that's going to be another turnover for Orlando. So it'll be Heat ball. Miami right now on a 12-2 run. And there's Norman Powell. Go, go, Norman Powell Ranger. That's a 3. And Miami are leading by 9 as they go on a 15-2 run. All right, here comes Da Silva. Gives it to Franz Wagner, but he gets fouled. All right, Franz Wagner at the line. He makes the first. And he makes both free throws. All right. Orlando trails by 7. Here comes Jaime Jaquez Jr. He misses the layup, goes out of bounds, and it will be Orlando ball. Here comes Franz Wagner. Gets his shot blocked, but that's going to be goaltending on Miami. 2 points awarded to Franz Wagner. All right, here comes Davion Mitchell being guarded. Davion Mitchell flying through, but he gets fouled. That foul is going to go against Orlando. And that's going to be on Jace Richardson. Jace Richardson, the son of former NBA player Jason Richardson. All All right, and here comes Norman Powell. Flies in for the layup, and he gets it. And the Heat now go up 51-44. All right, here comes Jalen Suggs. Gives it to Franz Wagner. And Wagner knocks it down. And the Magic trail by 5. Here comes Hawkins, being guarded by Tristan da Silva. Being double teamed, kicks it out to Norman Powell for 3. And Norman Powell will go to the line for 3 free throws. That foul is on Jalen Suggs. Suggs overcommitted on defense. That almost became a flagrant foul on Jalen Suggs. Almost. And right now, Norman Powell will go to the line for 3 free throws. Norman Powell makes the first, as Jalen Suggs will go to the bench. Norman Powell makes the second free throw, as Desmond Bane and Anthony Black enter the game for Orlando. Tristan da Silva will take a seat. And Norman Powell makes all 3 free throws, going 6 for 6 from the free throw line. Miami leads by 8. Here comes Anthony Black. Gives it to Goga Bitadze, but comes up with the miss. Miami comes up with the steal. Gives it to Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins flying in. And Wiggins will go to the line for 2 free throws. Foul is on Goga Bitadze. Andrew Wiggins missing both free throws. And here comes Anthony Black, bringing it out the floor for Orlando. Gives it to Franz Wagner. And Wagner goes down. That's going to be a foul on Miami. Miami right now on a 20-8 run. Franz Wagner makes the first. And Wagner makes both free throws. Miami lead by 6 in this game. And here comes Norman Powell. Loses the ball, but it's recovered by Kelly Ware for the corner 3. And that's a miss. Rebound by Anthony Black. Gives it to Desmond Bane. Bane drives in, but it gets his shot blocked by Bam. And we're going to have ourselves a timeout. Miami leads 54-48. And we are back. Score is 54-48. But now it's 55-48 as I made free throw. Kello Ware making both free throws. Now we have a 7-point lead for Miami. Here comes Desmond Bane. Gives it to Anthony Black. To Paolo Banchero. Banchero driving in. He misses that layup. And here comes Miami. Gives it to Jaime Jaquez. Jaquez loses the ball, and here comes Orlando. Banchero to Franz Wagner. To Goga Badate. Back out to Franz Wagner. Wagner, 3. Misses it. And that's going to be a foul on Miami. This one going against Kello Ware. Goga Badate at the line. He makes the first, and we now have a 7-point game. And Badate knocks down both free throws. Orlando's trailing by 6. And here comes Drew Smith. He misses that basket. Here comes Orlando now. And Paolo Banchero knocks down that basket. The Magic trail by 4. Andrew Wiggins missing that corner 3. And here comes, there's a steal by Wiggins. And he redeemed himself with that dunk. Miami now leads by 6. Good heads-up play by Wiggins. And here comes Anthony Black. Kicks it out to Goga Badate with a pump fake and a dunk. And the Magic trail by 4. So far in this game, we had 9 lead changes and 7 ties. Here comes Jaquez. Out to Kello Ware for the corner 3. That's a miss. Rebound by Franz Wagner. Franz Wagner for the 3, and he knocks it down. And the Magic are within 1. Orlando right now on an 11-4 run. And Jaime Jaquez Jr. with a turnaround and a basket. Miami leads by 3. Here comes Franz Wagner, being guarded by Wiggins. Out to Desmond Bane. Bane looking for the 3. Stolen away by Bam. And that will end the second quarter. This one was a very, very competitive second quarter as Miami leads 60-57 at halftime. So if there's one thing to take away from this first half, not only was it neck and neck, but it was also a game of runs. Early in the game, Orlando went on a run of their own. I think it was like a 13-3 run to close out the first quarter. But then Miami started making a run of their own in the middle of the second quarter, going on a 20-8 run, which gave them the lead again. But then Orlando started to make a comeback into this one, but Miami managed to stave them off with baskets from Bam Adebayo, Norman Powell, who so far has been 6 for 6 from the free throw line, and even some contributions from Kel'el Ware. So far in this game, the Miami Heat, this is a close game. We know whenever Miami and Orlando play against each other, it's always a high stakes, high scoring, close game, like edge of your seat game kind of game. So right now it's halftime. I'll be back for the third quarter for more Miami Heat play-by-play action. At this time, if you guys want to, feel free to drop some comments and ask some questions about this game, about the Heat players in general, and I'll be there to answer them. Adebayo 4975 says, "Is it my imagination or?" I'm sorry. Adebayo 4975 says, "Is it my imagination or did Jaime Jaquez ignore Bam's call for the ball?" I wasn't really paying attention on that one, but I think Jaquez ignored it. I think Jaquez may have ignored that call from Bam for the ball. But I'm pretty sure it was a little miscommunication, like a minor convenience, if you will. Like a minor, let's put it like that. A minor inconvenience. But hopefully it's just a little hiccup and nothing more. And we are back, ready to begin the third quarter. Miami leading 60-57 in this one. Orlando looking to get back into the swing of things on offense. And Miami's looking to swell their lead. So here we go. Here comes Andrew Wiggins. Out to Davion Mitchell. Davion Mitchell misses that basket, and here comes Orlando. Franz Wagner has it, being guarded by Wiggins. He gives it to Desmond Bane. Paulo Banchero. Out to Jalen Suggs for three. And Jalen Suggs ties the game with that corner three for Orlando. Here comes Davion Mitchell. Out to Bam. And Bam stepped out of bounds, and that will go right back to Orlando. All right, here comes the Magic now. They're on a 14-6 run. Another corner three, and that's going to be a miss. Here comes Norman Powell. Guarded by Desmond Bane. Gives it to Davion Mitchell. Out to Norman Powell. And that's going out of bounds on Miami. So that will be Magic ball once again. All right, here comes Franz Wagner, being guarded by Bam. That's going to be a foul on. Nope, that's a loose ball on Orlando. And here comes Miami now. Kel'el Webb recovers the rebound and throws it away. Oh my goodness! And that's going to be another turnover on Miami. Miami needs to take better care of the ball right now. Because costly turnovers, missed opportunities, all those things factor into a loss. Just like the one they had against Dallas 2 nights ago. And it's Franz Wagner. Misses that one. Rebound by Bam. Davion Mitchell kicks it out to Norman Powell. And who loses the ball once again. Yeah, another turnover for Miami. What's that now? Their fourth turnover? Miami's getting very sloppy with the ball right now. It's only a matter of time till Orlando goes on a big run right now. It's only a matter of time for them. And that's a three. Desmond Bane misses it. A block by Kel'el Webb. So no goaltending, unlike last time. But it will still be Magic ball. They give it to Desmond Bane. Jalen Suggs now has it for 3. And Jalen Suggs gives Orlando the lead. Here comes Davion Mitchell. Out to Bam. Bam guarded by Wendell Carter Jr. and he comes up with a miss. Here comes Orlando again. Another block by Andrew Wiggins, but that's going to be, I think that's going to be a foul on Wiggins as well. I'm sorry, that's going to be on Kel'el Ware. Orlando will have it side out. And that's going to be a backcourt violation on the Magic, so it will be Heat ball. So far, this has been a very sloppy third quarter. So let's see how these teams adjust right now. Both teams very high on the turnover percentage. Miami has 10 turnovers, and Orlando with 9. The Heat have 9 points off turnovers, and Orlando with 12. And that's going to be a foul on Franz Wagner. That will send Norman Powell to the line. Norman Powell goes 1 of 2 from the line as the Magic lead by 2. Here goes Franz Wagner. And Wagner comes up with that basket. Orlando leads by 4. Here comes Davion Mitchell, being guarded by Desmond Bane. Gives it to Bam, to Norman Powell for the step back 3. And go Norman Powell Ranger! He knocks, oh, I guess that was just a step back jumper. Thought that was a 3, but Miami trailing by 2. Jalen Suggs, oof! He landed hard, and he should be going to the line for 3 free throws. Oh no, this is not a good sign for Miami. Norman Powell is limping about. Norman Powell may need to come out of the game. And that's gonna be another foul on Miami. This one on Davion Mitchell. Paolo Banchero will go to the line for 2 free throws. And Banchero makes both free throws. The Magic lead by 4 in this one. Bam kicks it out to Wiggins. Wiggins with the spin. And he gets fouled by Franz Wagner. Andrew Wiggins will go to the line for 2 free throws. Wiggins makes the first. And Wiggins goes 1 of 2 from the line. The Heat trail by 3 in this one. Here comes Desmond Bane. Gives it to Franz Wagner. Wagner drives it into the lane. Kicks it out to Anthony Black. Here comes Jalen Suggs. And Jalen Suggs gets the layup. And the Magic lead by 5. Here comes Bam for the 3. And Bam Bam Adebayo sinks the uncontested 3. And that brings Miami within 2. Jalen Suggs answering back with a 3 of his own, and he gets it. Here comes Bam Adebayo. Bam being guarded by Wendell Carter Jr. Rebound by Kel'el Ware. And loses the ball, and here comes Orlando on a fast break. But Anthony Black gets fouled and will go to the line for 2 free throws. Instead, that will prompt an Orlando Magic timeout. The Magic lead in this one, 72-67. And we are back. Score is 72 to, I believe, 69 now. Sorry, 72 to 67. Orlando still has a 5-point lead. Here comes Miami now. Bam has it, being guarded by Wendell Carter Jr. Bam gets fouled and gets the and-1. So Bam will go to the line for the and-1. Hopefully to bring it into a 2-point game. And he does. So we now have a 2-point game. Here comes Anthony Black. Gives it to Jalen Suggs. Suggs for 3. And Miami comes up with that rebound. Here comes Andrew Wiggins. For the tie, and he misses it. Here comes Tristan da Silva. Gives it to Anthony Black. Out to Jalen Suggs. He's streaking in for the layup. He misses it. Rebound by Jaime Jaquez. Out to Wiggins. Wiggins almost throws the ball away, but recovered by Norman Powell. Here goes Davion Mitchell, and he gets the layup, and we are all tied up at 72. Here comes Jalen Suggs. Guarded by Davion Mitchell. Jalen Suggs drives in, and he gets the layup to give Orlando the lead once more. Jalen Suggs was looking for the foul, but he doesn't get it. And here comes Davion Mitchell again. Missing that layup over Tristan da Silva. Jalen Suggs again. No foul this time either. Here comes Bam. Bam throws the ball away, and that's going to be another costly turnover for Miami. That's going to be back with the Magic. And Orlando's head coach just got hit with a technical. He was arguing with the referees about the blown foul calls on Jalen Suggs. Jamal Mosley getting hit with a technical foul. Norman Powell knocks down that technical free throw, and we now have a 1-point game. Alright, so now we have a 1-point game. Goga Bitadze has the ball, being guarded by Bam. Here comes Franz Wagner. Franz now being guarded by Bam. Alright, here comes Jalen Suggs. Throws an alley-oop. Franz Wagner is able to rebound. And he gets the basket. So Orlando leads by 3. Here comes Davion Mitchell. Kicks it out to Bam. Bam with the spin. Loses the ball, but he gets fouled. Bam misses the first. So far in this game, he has 21.7 rebounds and 1 assist. Drew Smith now entering the game for Miami. And Bam goes 1 of 2 from the line. We now have a 2-point game. Here comes Jalen Suggs. Suggs flies in, blocked by Bam, and that's going to go out of bounds. Last touched by Miami, so it will be Magic ball. Alright, Orlando will have his side out. Gives it to Goga Badatse. Here comes Anthony Black. Franz Wagner for 3. It bounces off, but it goes in. And Orlando leads by 5. Here comes Drew Smith. Gives it to Pelle Larsson for the layup. And it's stolen away by Orlando. Jalen Suggs gets a fast break dunk. And Orlando now leads by 7. Alright, here comes Jaime Jaquez. Gives it to Pelle Larsson. Norman Powell missing that basket. Here comes Jalen Suggs. Franz Wagner for 3 again. He misses it. And here come the Heat. Jaime Jaquez in a hurry. And he gets the layup. And the Heat trail by 5 in this one. Alright, Anthony Black bringing up the ball. Looking to drive in. But that's going to go out of bounds on. That's going to go out of bounds on Orlando, so it'll be Heat ball. All right, and here comes Miami. Hawkins with the spin, misses the basket. And here comes Orlando again. Anthony Black stops, pops, misses the basket. Rebound by Kelly Ware. He gives it to Hawkins. Here comes Tommy Hawkins. He comes up short on that basket. Rebound by Franz Wagner. Here comes Anthony Black. Gives it to Wagner for 3. And Franz Wagner again for 3. And that will prompt a Miami. Nope. That will not prompt a timeout. Drew Smith gets fouled. And he will go to the line for 2 free throws. Now it will be a timeout for Miami. And boy, do they have some serious thinking to do. Orlando right now are on a run as they lead 84-76. And we are back. Score is 84-78. Orlando. Orlando right now are on a run, and Miami needs to find some answers and fast on offense as well as defense. All right, Drew Smith at the line for Miami. He makes the first. And he makes both free throws. So Miami's trailing by 6 in this one. All right, here comes Tyus Jones. He gives it to Anthony Black. And that's going to be a foul on Miami. That will send Anthony Black to the line. Anthony Black misses the first. And he misses both free throws. Here comes Jaime Jaquez with the spin. Misses the basket. Rebound by Goga Bedatse. Here comes Desmond Bain flying coast to coast. But he gives away a turnover. A loose ball. And that will go right back to Miami. So far in this game, Miami has looked very sloppy when they have the possession of the ball. Drew Smith gives it to Bam. Almost turned the ball over again. And he does turn the ball over. And Anthony Black comes away with a fast break dunk. Orlando right now leading by 8. Here comes Pelle Larson. Bam with the rebound, and he gets rocked. And we got ourselves a little confrontation going on between Bam and Goga Badate that had to be broken up. Goga Badate getting tangled up with Bam for a second. Bam will go to the line for 2 free throws. He makes the first. And Bam misses the second free throw. So right now, Miami's trailing by 7. And that's going to be another foul on Miami. This one's going to be on Drew Smith, I believe. Now we'll send Anthony Black back to the free throw line. Anthony Black makes the first. And he misses the second. Okay, so here comes all the Magic again. They still have possession of the ball. That's a 3 from Desmond Bain. And that's a miss. Rebound by Jaime Jaquez Jr. Kicks it out to Drew Smith for 3. That's a miss. And rebound by Anthony Black. Orlando right now on a 13-6 run. Hardly a response from Miami. Desmond Bain now has the ball, being guarded by Fontecchio. And rebound by Bam. Here comes Bam, being guarded by Badazzi. Double team. And that's going to end the third quarter. Orlando leads this one 87-79. And I'll be back for the fourth quarter. And we are back for the fourth quarter. Orlando leading 87-79. So far, Miami's offense has looked stagnant. Here comes Fontecchio, driving into the lane, and still nothing on offense for Miami. Desmond Bain coming up short with that three-pointer. Here comes Miami. That's going to be another turnover. This time it's a travel on Simone Fontecchio. Miami right now looks lost on offense. Their defense is here and there, but their offense looks tepid right now. All right. Bam coming up with another rebound. Here comes some money from Fontecchio. Oh my goodness, what is going on, Miami? Simone Fontecchio for three. And Simone Fontecchio knocks down that three. And it's been a while, but Miami got to get back on their offensive game. Right, here comes Tyus Jones. Drives it into the lane, and he gets the layup. And Orlando's back up by 7. Here comes Jaquez. And that's going to be out of bounds. Jaquez's foot stepped out of bounds, and that's going to go right back to Orlando. Miami right now with 15 turnovers to Orlando's 10. Orlando has 16 points off turnovers compared to Miami's 10. Here comes Tyus Jones. Gives it Desmond Bane for 3, and he knocks it down. And now the Magic go up by 10. All right, here comes Bam. Bam. I think he got fouled by Goga Badadze. Yeah, that's going to be a foul on Goga Badadze. Goga Badadze so far with 8 points and 8 rebounds in this game for Orlando. Here comes some money, Fontecchio. Gives it to Jaquez. Jaquez goes up and under, and he gets the layup. And the Heat trail by 8. All right, here comes Tyus Jones, guarded by Jaquez. Kicks it out to Desmond Bane for the reverse layup. He misses it. Rebound by Fontecchio. Here comes Jaquez. Jaquez looking to go coast to coast, and he gets the basket. And the Heat trail by 6 in this one. And here comes Desmond Bane, guarded by Wiggins. And then we're going to have an off-ball foul. This one, I believe, is going to go against Simone Fontecchio. Here comes Tyus Jones. Gives it to Franz Wagner. Wagner being guarded by Jaquez. And Miami comes up with that rebound. Here comes Bam, bringing it up to the floor. Gives it to Jaquez. Jaquez thought about the 3. Spin. And another miss for Miami. Here comes Anthony Black, being guarded by Bam. Gives it to Tyus Jones. Back to Black. And that's going to be a foul on Bam. And that will send Anthony Black back to the line. Miami right now are struggling not just in turnovers and on offense, but also on fouls. Anthony Black makes the first. And Norman Powell re-enters the game for Miami. And Pelo Larson will also come in the game for Miami. And Anthony Black makes both free throws. The Magic lead by 8. And Davion Mitchell gets the layup as the Heat trail by 6. All right, here goes Anthony Black. Gives it to Wendell Carter Jr. And that's going to be a foul on Miami again. This one on Davion Mitchell. Wendell Carter Jr. going to the line. He makes the first. And Wendell Carter Jr. goes 1 of 2 from the line. So now the Magic lead by 7. Here comes Davion Mitchell. He gives it to Wiggins. Wiggins driving into the lane, and he gets it. He took off like so, praying on that dunk as Miami trails by 5. Here comes Franz Wagner for 3. And Franz Wagner answers back with a 3 for Orlando as the Magic go up by 8. Here comes Andrew Wiggins. Gives it to Norman Powell. Norman Powell driving in with this turnaround, and he misses it. And that's going to be a foul on Orlando. And that will lead to a Miami Heat timeout. The Orlando Magic lead 98-90. And we'll be back for more Heat action. And we are back. The score is 98-90 Orlando. Miami looked like they had some chances to come back into this game, but so far, the Magic continues to stave them off on offense. So right now, Norman Powell's at the line for 2 free throws. Norman Powell misses the first. And Norman Powell missing both free throws. And here comes Franz Wagner, being guarded by Bam. Gives it to Anthony Black. Orlando has to make the shot before it expires. And that's a miss. Rebound by Bam. And here comes Miami. Here comes Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins. Wiggins knocks down the basket. And Orlando's lead now is down to 6. Here comes Franz Wagner. Again for 3. He misses it. Rebound by Wiggins. Wiggins has a... And go Norman Powell Ranger. That's a 3 for Miami. And suddenly the Heat are now back into this game. Here comes Jalen Suggs. He shoves off. There's a 3 on the way. No go for Orlando. That should have been an offensive foul called on Orlando. Not sure why it didn't happen. Orlando will have it side out. They give it to Jalen Suggs. Out to Franz Wagner. Wagner looking for the 3 again. And he misses it. Rims out. Back to Desmond Bane. Back to Franz Wagner again. He's going to drive it in, and he gets a layup. And that's going to prompt a Miami Heat timeout. Orlando leads 100-95. And we are back. Score is 195 Orlando. So far the Heat are trying to make a comeback into this one. But Orlando continues to stave them off with big baskets. Let's hope the Heat can come up with some big baskets of their own. All right, and here comes Miami. Davion Mitchell gives it to Wiggins. Wiggins guarded by Franz Wagner. Bam set the screen. Back to Norman Powell. He gets fouled. And almost an N1. Almost an N1 opportunity for Miami. All right, Miami will have a side out. Here comes Wiggins with the fadeaway. He misses it. Rebound by Tristan da Silva. Franz Wagner gives the ball to Desmond Bane. To Jalen Suggs. And easily finds Franz Wagner for the dunk. Orlando now leads by 7. Here comes Miami now. Norman Powell drives in and gets the basket. And the Heat trail by 5. And here comes Orlando. Jalen Suggs being guarded by Davion Mitchell. The 3. The miss. And here comes Miami. Still a chance to do something big. And I think that may have been, that's going to lead to a timeout for Miami as Orlando leads 102-97. And we are back. Score is 102-97. Orlando. Next time both teams meet, it'll be on December 9th as part of the NBA Cup knockout round. So Miami really needs to really try and get this one on the road. As a 3 from Norman Powell. That's a miss. Rebound by Orlando, and here comes Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane gives it to Franz Wagner, who's been hot so far. Wagner gets fouled and gets the basket. I'm sorry, no foul called on for Orlando, but the Magic lead by 7. And here comes Davion Mitchell to Jaquez, and Jaquez gets the basket. Miami are back within 5. Franz Wagner being guarded by Wiggins. So far, this matchup favors Franz Wagner, who's been getting to the rim at will, plus knocking down the threes. Looks like we may have some technical difficulties on our end. Hold on. He gives it to Desmond Bane. Bane comes up with a miss, and it's going to be rebounded by Miami. So that's going to be a foul on Orlando. All right. Okay, so right now it's 104-101. Miami are within this one. Miami are within 3. Here comes Franz Wagner. Jalen Suggs drives it in, and he gets the layup. So it's now 106-101 Orlando. Here comes Drew Smith. Sorry, Norman Powell gets the layup. And Miami are within 3 now. Miami needs a stop, and they need to get a 3 to tie the game. Here comes Franz Wagner. Wagner now, guarded by Hawkins. Wagner for 3. And that will be an air ball, and it will go right back to Miami. The Heat right now, they need a 3-pointer to tie the game and bring themselves back into this one. Right, here comes Miami. Norman Powell has it. Drives it in. And he gets the layup. And now Miami are within 1. Edge of your seat time in the closing moments of the 4th quarter. Norman Powell with 28 points in tonight's game. Here comes Jalen Suggs, being guarded by Davion Mitchell. Paulo Banchero sets the screen. He's being guarded by Hawkins. Jalen Suggs. And it looks like there's going to be a jump ball. Yes, it looks like it's going to be a jump ball between Wendell Carter Jr. and I believe Jaime Hawkins Jr. All right, so I think this jump ball is going to favor Orlando. Orlando will win the tip. There's a 3 on the way from Desmond Bane. That's a miss. Rebound by Bam. Here comes Miami. They still have a chance to win this one. They give ball in the hands of Norman Powell. Norman Powell. He's looking to drive it in. Guarded by Wendell Carter Jr. Nope. Out of bounds on Orlando. Nope, that's going to be out of bounds on Orlando. And we're going to have ourselves a timeout for Miami. If you are not on the edge of your seat, if you are not biting your nails, if you are not checking your pulse right now, you need to do so. This is a close game right now. Orlando's leading 106-105 in the final moments of the game right now. Miami has possession of the ball, so let's see what they can do. Right now we're having a timeout, but I'm sure Miami's going to have to draw up some strategy. Right? Hawkins will inbound the ball. And Miami will use their final timeout. Yeah, it looked like they couldn't do anything with Orlando swarming them around. So Miami has used up all their timeouts. So far, this one has been nerve-wracking, especially when you're considering that Miami's been playing comeback throughout much of the second half. Okay, so right now, it's still 106-105. Orlando still has the lead. Let's see what Miami has cooked up for the closing moments of this one. Sorry, having some little technical difficulties on my end. Right now, we're in the closing moments of this game. Miami looking for the win. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We got cut off. Technical difficulties on our end. But unfortunately, the final score is 106-105. Bam Adebayo tried to seal it with the game winner 3, but it was not able to do so. Miami has now lost 2 in a row, and the reason why they've lost this one, even though they had a slim lead, I said before, Orlando was going to find a way to come back into this game, and they did. Not only did they go on a run, but Miami's offense was stagnant and really didn't do much to help their cause. Furthermore, Miami had to play catch-up for much of the fourth quarter, relying on big baskets from Bam Adebayo, I think Davion Mitchell, Norman Powell. I mean, why didn't Miami just go to Norman Powell? I mean, he had the hot hand for much of the game. It also hurts that Miami didn't have Kelly Ware in to help on defense. So, again, this is another mishap from Coach Eric Spoelstra. Hold on for a second, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah. Why didn't Miami go to Norman Powell for the final moment of the game? Like that. That could have been a go-to. An easy two-pointer that would have helped them win the game. I mean, think back to when Andrew Wiggins came up big with that game-winning layup or that game-winning alley-oop against Cleveland. I mean, another thing that hurt Miami was not having Kelly Ware in at the same time with Bam to help out on both ends of the floor. That way it would have stretched out the Heat's offense. But unfortunately, things did not turn out the way they did for Miami. And right now, the Heat have dropped 2 in a row, meaning they now share the same record as Orlando, who owns the tiebreaker. All right. For the Heat, Andrew Wiggins had 13 points. Norman Powell led the way with 28 points. Davion Mitchell with 10 points and 7 assists. Jaime Jaquez Jr. came off the bench with 16 points. And Bam Adebayo with a double-double of 24 points and 15 rebounds. For the Magic, Franz Wagner led the way with 32 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Jalen Suggs had 22 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists. And Anthony Black came off the bench with 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. Another terrible loss for Miami. And the next time we do see the Magic, it will be Tuesday, December 9th as part of the NBA Cup knockout round. And that one has big implications because whoever wins that game, they go on to Vegas for the Final Four of the NBA Cup. So right now, Miami doesn't look like they are showing any flashes of their old selves. I mean, the pace and dictation of the flow and ebb of the game is not there. They look stagnant. They look unsure of themselves at times. Maybe it's the defense. But Miami looks like they need to get it together and fast. And also, the next time we will also see the Heat is when they return back to Kaseya Center for tomorrow's game against the Sacramento Kings. That game starts tomorrow at 8 o'clock on FanDuel Sports Network Sun and NBA League Pass and local WPLG Local 10 in Miami. Again, Miami is back at home where they host the Sacramento Kings. That game starts tomorrow at 8 p.m. on FanDuel Sports Network Sun, NBA League Pass, and WPLG Local 10 in Miami. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. Yes, this was a very tough stream to get through because of technical difficulties, but we made it regardless. I'd like to thank each and every one of you. Like I said, take care of one another, love one another, be kind to one another, and always be there to be a helping hand because you never know when that day comes. I'm Deron Butler, reminding you to always run through the paint. I love you guys. Take care. And as always, go Heat. See you next time.